Hello students. So very good morning students to all of you. For so today law lecture was there in the morning, but I will be taking in the morning. Law lecture is not there today morning. So students, now we will start the fifth class of your income tax for May 24, November 24 attempt. Now, many students who are there in the G Drive or who are watching the lecture in online mode, G Drive, or they are watching the lecture in the online mode, let me again remind to all of you, after income tax students, we are going to start with GST. Okay. I told once again students, November we are going to get it through with your income tax and GST. But since your examination would be in May 24, or somebody would be attempting for November 24, one concern would be there that there would be a huge gap after the completion of the syllabus. Then what will happen, sir? Two things will happen. One, the revision lectures would be conducted, and two, the test would be conducted. And the test would be conducted like two topics, three topics, like that. We are going to consolidate and we will keep the test, which you have to write it, and I will evaluate it. I will not give it to anyone else. It is me who is going to evaluate it. Okay. So students, now those who have just joined, for all of them, 4 class already is over. In fact, I'll share those links to all of you in the WhatsApp group today. After the lecture gets over, go through those lectures. Okay, we have done only the basic part, and we have done primarily, we have done very slow. So I don't think that you will not be understanding it. You'll understand everything. So just go through those 4 class which we have done earlier. I'll share you those links after the lecture is over. Okay. With that, students, let's start with this. Students, here till yesterday I told you, in income tax, the most important is to compute what? Compute the total income. Total income of a person for a previous year, which is the financial year, and that will be computed when? In the next year. Like for example, again I'm repeating this. You have, most important is income tax. You have to calculate what? First step is to calculate the total income of a person. Total income of a person. Now what is the current particular financial year going on? The current financial year which is going on would be financial year 23-24, which is known as what? Known as the previous year. Why previous year it is known as? The reason being, you will do, when you will do the total income, when the total will be done. Yeah, that is the early time. So the total activity of the income, so you will do the totaling of the income when? In the next financial year. So the next financial year, students, what I told you, the next financial year, students, I have told you the totaling would be done, which is nothing but the assessment. Total means what? Assessment. So therefore, total means what? Assessment. So the next financial year is known as assessment year. Next financial year, when you will do the total of all the incomes, that next financial year will be referred as the assessment year. So what is your assessment year? 24-25. Again I'm repeating this point, although it's basic thing, because in the previous year, current financial year 23-24, what you are going to do, you are going to earn the income. So totaling you will not do right now. Totaling you will do next year. So next year when you do the total for the previous year, next year you will do the total for the previous year. So so next year is, go to the next year, 24-25. For the previous year, 23-24. For the previous year, 23-24. So that is the reason why it is previous year 23-24 and assessment year 24-25. Now students, as we all know, totaling has first of all, total income, the most important thing is to first is to get the qualified income. Now those who just have joined today, just you will come to know what is this qualified income. In the 4 class you will do it, you will come to know what is qualified income. Okay, don't worry. So first you have to select what is the qualified income. After you have done the qualified income, the next thing is to compute. Once you have done the selected, so select what? The qualified income. And thereafter what you do? The computation. So now you will start the computation. And again I am repeating, when you do the computation, computation means the total. So when you will do the total in the next assessment year, which is 24-25, you will do the computation of the total income of the previous year. Previous year is 23-24. You will do the computation of the total income of the previous year 23-24. Is that clear to all of you students? So computation when you do, students, as you all know, yesterday we have seen in the lecture, students, computation is done in 5 different heads of income. 5 different heads are there. So computation, depending upon if I am a salaried employee, my computation will go in a separate category. If I have got a house property income, my computation will go in the separate category. If I have got a business income, then my computation will go in the separate category. If I have got a capital gains income, my computation will go in the separate category. And there is one more category which is known as other sources. Last category is other sources. So students, computation will be done in 5 heads of income. Computation will be done in 5 heads of income. Heads of income. Now, if you remember students, yesterday, salary is your first head, house property is your second head, BGBP, that is business and profession, is your third head, capital gain is the fourth head, and income from other sources is the fifth head. So salary, students, again starts from section 15 and it goes to which section? No, size. Yes, section 17. Then there is another head which is house property 22 to 27. Then business and profession is from 28 to 44 DA. Then capital gains is section 45 to 55A. Then other sources is from 56 to 59. So students, we have to travel the journey from section 15 to section 59 to compute what? Compute the income in 5 different heads. Compute the income in 5 different heads. See the journey we will travel. 15 to 59. Copy up till here. Copy quickly. Let's say, sir, same thing again and again we are copying it. So be it. In the next page. In the next page, please comment on this. This thing should get registered in your mind in such a way that in the midnight also somebody has to wake up. You should be in a position to tell that. Or maybe in the sleep you should keep uttering these things so that parents gets worried what has happened to you, doesn't it? I hope that all of you are clear with this one now. 5 heads of income. Now, students, what you will do in this case, there is something which is known as, you will then add here. We are not going to discuss right now, but I'm just giving the format. Add here the clubbing of income, students. Which is, sir, what is clubbing of income? That I'll let you know later on, not right now. Right now is not a time to learn this. But for the purpose of formatting, it is better. Tomorrow, in fact, I will tell you about this thing. Tomorrow, first thing, I'll tell you about this clubbing of income. Right now is not a time, friends. 60 to 65. Fine. Now, students, this clubbing we will see tomorrow. I'll just introduce you with the clubbing provision so that you also are satisfied with what this clubbing is all about. I'm just, students, we are not doing any particular topic right now. I am just trying to introduce you this to subject of income tax, but introducing in a entire sense. Everything, what is this entire income tax all about? I'm introducing with all to all of you. And once you know the entire range of this income tax, then I will take you to each and every topic. So first, at least you should know the entire range of this entire income tax law. Otherwise, you will not be in a position to appreciate the topics which we are going to analyze and we are going to do. Now, students, after this section 66 to section 69, ignore for the time being. More on for final CA 66 to 69D. Then, students, comes a very important particular topic for your syllabus is about set off or carry forward and set off of losses. Write this, students, and if you can just put like this the way I'm doing it, it will help. Set off or carry forward set off of losses. Section number is 70 to section 80, 79 to be very precise. You can just make this remark and introduce now to all of you on this. All of you just make a reference of this. Set off or carry forward and set off of losses. Section 70 to section 79. Fine, students. What it is? The best business, students. What is the best business? No. The best business is, students, be government. Be the government. That is the best business. Why? I earn the income for all my years. Previous year, I will earn the income, and then what I have to do in the assessment year, I will pay 30% tax to the government, which is 30%. Just right now, just think of 30%. 30% tax I have to pay to the government. So this is the best partnership. Government is the partner, sleeping partner. Why? He doesn't earn the income, but in the assessment year, he takes from me 30% of whatever I earn. 30% in the name of tax. Isn't it? So does he help me in my business right now? No. I am the one right now who is exercising the skill, and for that, whatever I earn in the assessment year, the government will take 30% out of it. 70% I keep, 30% I have to give to the government. And that happens for all the business. So that's the beauty of being the government. They are 30% partners to your economic activity. 30% partner to your economic activity. Isn't it? This concept is universal. Every country this happens. Somewhere students, some 200 years back, 200 years back. See, one thing I should tell you. Income tax law, the way it is there in our country, we have taken from Britishers. Because obviously Britishers have ruled us for so many years. So obviously Britishers has introduced the concept of income tax. You people are reading right now the Income Tax Act 1961. What is the act that you people are reading? Income Tax Act 1961. This is post-independence. Pre-independence, there was the Income Tax Act 1921, introduced by Britishers that time. And before that also something would be there, I am not aware. But these were something introduced by the Britishers. Some 200 years back. In England, what happened was, same thing, one trader was there in England. That trader realized this concept which I just told you. This concept, what is the concept? That the government is 30% partner in my business. 30% partner in my business. Why? I earn the income for the entire financial year, and in the next assessment year, what the government do? The government collects the tax from me. Next assessment year, the government is collecting the tax from me. So what happened? Do you know what happened? In one of the year, this trader got a loss. In one of the year, this trader students got a loss he got. And then what he did? He knew that when I get profit, the government take 30% of my profit. So when I am getting a loss, then the government should also take 30% of my loss. Kindly give me reimbursement. This year I got a loss of say 100. Give me 30. When I get a profit, then I pay you 30. When I am getting a loss, give me 30. So he made an application to the government asking for refund of 30 rupees. Why 30 rupees? Your share. Government said, who is this mad person? Go from government you want to recover the money? Government only will recover from you. Government doesn't pay to you. That is what the government is all about. So he said that no, when I am getting a profit, you take 30% from me. So in the year of loss, you have to pay 30% of my loss to me. Government didn't agree to this application. What he did? He filed an appeal. In UK, in England, students, we have House of Lords. That UK, that if you see the old this thing, they have got this. They wear a hat and all, different kind of an hat. So the House of Lords, which is the Supreme Court there, they have said that yes, as per the principle of natural justice, what it should be, that if in the year of profit, if you are taking 30% from him, then in the year of loss, you have to repay 30% also to him. In the year of loss, you have to repay 30% to him. That is what the justice is all about. This is the principle of natural justice. That trader, the government have to give 30%. But they realized what would be the impact. What would be the impact of this judgment? What they will know, that if everyone keeps doing business and they keep getting losses, and then everyone will take 30% from us that way. This we cannot do. We cannot do this. And then what they did? They said that, look, we will not give you refund 30%. But what we will do is, if you have got a loss, then what you do is that you carry forward your loss. Carry forward means take it to the next year. The loss, whatever is the amount, take it to the next year. And in the next year, whatever is your profit in the next year, from that profit, you adjust this loss, and on the balance profit, you pay the tax. On the balance profit, you pay the tax. So my loss was, say for example students, 100 rupees in this, say current year, say year 1 it is 100 rupees. So please don't come to us and ask 30. We will not give you 30. What you will can do is that, say in year 2 you have got a profit of 400. What you would have done on 400, you would have paid the tax to us. Say 30% is the tax rate for the time being. So how much you would have paid in this case? How much is that? 120 as a tax you would have paid to us. So you don't pay us 120. What you do, this from 400 you reduce what students? Year 1 loss of year 1. So this year 1 loss you will remove it, and then tell me how much students it is. The net loss is 300. This is your net loss 300, and on this net loss of 300 students you will now pay us 30%. And how much is that? 90. Pay the tax of 90. This is what you will do. Don't come to us ask for refund. We will not give you refund. But what we can do is, you have a loss, you take it to the next year, and in the next year you do the adjustment, that is set off. What it is known as set off your loss from your next year income, and whatever is the balance net loss, that balance net loss pay 30%, assuming it is a tax rate. Assuming 30% is what? The tax rate. And therefore how much tax you will pay us? 90. Do this. But we will not give you the money. That is very clear. That particular Britishers, this principle was then taken by all the government across the globe. Every government across the world, they adopted this concept. And India, we already were in the Britishers rule. So obviously, naturally, this concept had to be there in our law. So this is our law. Is that clear to all of you students? This is a concept. And this is as per the principle of natural justice. What is the natural justice? If in the year of profit, I am paying you 30%, then in the year of loss, you need to support me. So what is the support of the government? Government says, we will not refund you anything. But what we can do is, carry over your loss in the next year and then set off that loss, and on the balance profit pay the tax. This is what we can do, and this is what is the concept. Very important concept. The next year also. So that is what she has said. Then again you carry forward. So therefore what will happen now? 2-year loss will get carried forward further. But then the government will say that we can tolerate you. There is a maximum time limit that we can tolerate you. Loss after loss every year. So you better don't do anything. Isn't it? Every year if you are getting a loss after loss after loss, the government says that we can tolerate you for 8 years. At least you should now get a profit. What kind of activity you are doing? For last 8 years you are making a loss. Isn't it? So government says that we will bear you for 8 years. Okay. But till 8 years, if the turnaround doesn't happen, then we will not be in a position to support you. So there is a time limit. But to answer your question, if in the next year also he has a loss, he can carry forward it further. And for how many years he can carry forward it? 8 years. Okay. More we will learn in this topic, but just to introduce you the principle. Is that clear to all of you students? Now, once you do this set off, quickly students. Now this stage would be known as the gross total income. The gross total income, students. The gross total income, students. Fine. You will say, sir, this should be the total income. Why you are saying gross total income? Now comes the big thing. Students, even right now US is also facing the heat of recession and all. But I'll just take you to some 15 years back. 15 years back in US, if I'm paying a tax, okay, see, right now I'm young, I can pay the tax, I can work, but I understand one thing. What? At one point of time in my life, I may not be in a position to do any economic activity. I cannot work. That's a law of nature, isn't it? And that time there is no income. And if there is no income, primarily, then you can also understand this concept. If there is no income in that situation, my livelihood or my very existence may come at a stake. So do you know, in US, as I told you, 15 year, up till 15 years back, the fact that you were paying the tax to the government for all your good times, say 60 years is a retirement year, okay, up till 60 years you are paying the tax to the government. The government owns the responsibility. What the government says, you paid the tax for the 30 years 40 years of your service, you paid us the tax, you contributed to the nation building. Now at this age of your life, the last stage of your life, you are not in a position to do anything. And there, you know, students, in US there is a culture, the parents and their children, they don't stay together, isn't it? That's kind of a culture over there. So what they say, now you are our responsibility, means we will ensure that you are getting a pensions in your old age. So this is what payment of tax does in a country like US, the developed country, we will say that way, that you get that level of security, that by paying tax I'm secure. So you contributed to the nation building. Accordingly, government recognize this very important contribution from you, and government then support you. It's like, for example, for any reason I'm unemployed. Forget 60 plus. I'm right now unemployed. Then government gives you unemployment allowances. Why? Because till the time you were employed, you were paying the taxes. What about in India? Can we think the same concept to be there in India? Answer is no, isn't it? Many reasons for that. Primarily, we are not that rich country and all, and more importantly, our population, 140 crores population, it is not imaginable. The government says that please don't come to us. You pay the tax, that's good. You have to pay the tax. If you don't pay the tax, then we will come to your home for tea, isn't it? In final CA, you learn the topic search, income tax raid, all the topics of income tax raid and all. Heard of it? Income tax search, income tax raid and all, which takes place. So those things you will say, if you don't pay the tax, then we will come to your home for having some tea, and thereafter doing all the destruction in your home to get the money out of it. Undisclosed money, undisclosed income and all. So you have to pay the tax. But don't expect that if you pay the tax, we will give you something in return. In your old age, we are not going to support you. You have to support yourself. You have to support yourself. At the most, what we can do, students, at the most, what we can do in this case, you start making the investments right now only. You start making your investments right now only. What is the investment? Investment, students, are in the form of, say, LIC, life insurance, isn't it? You pay the premium, and then the premium, if anything happens to you, then in this case your family gets money. Then there is medical insurance. Medical insurance premium also you pay. So government says that if you are hospitalized, please take care of yourself. Not only of yourself, of your family also you pay the premium. Of your parents also you take care of them. Pay their premium. That is what the government says. Then provident funds, pension, you start contributing right now. At age of 60, thereafter, we will not come to you to give you the money. You only have to support yourself. Start contributing to the provident fund, to the pensions. Right now, only when you are earning the income. That is what the government says. What we can do is, what we can do, from whatever you have computed your income, we will give you the deduction which is known as chapter 6a deduction, students. And what is this chapter 6a deduction, students? These are the deductions for all your contribution or all your expenditure that you did for what? LIC, provident fund, medical insurance premium that you have paid, for the health of yourself, your spouse, your children, your parents, for all these expenditure that you did for the social security of yourself and your family, which was our responsibility. But we cannot in fact be expected to take care of 140 crore people. How can we be taking care of 140 crore people? We cannot do that, and therefore you only do it. You only do it. You incur all these expenditure. What we will do at the most, from your gross total income, we will give you the deductions of all these expenditure. The deductions of all these expenditure that has been incurred by you. And these are covered in chapter 6a. What is the section number? ATC to ATU. ATU. ATU is for men. If you read ATU, are you aware of ATU? ATU is for mental people. So that is ATU direction. So sometimes when I say that after learning CA, people some people at some stage or some phase they become mental. So I'll tell them that you are eligible for ATU deductions. Okay, so that is what it is. Anyway, so students, this is what it is. So ATU deduction, and then now you get your the gold. This is your gold. What is the gold? Total income. Please copy this. So at last we reach, isn't it? All of you through with this one? Where is the friend? Friend? So students, in this case, if you see over here, ATC to ATU. So one thing you noted, one thing students, this expenditure you have incurred, isn't it? Now, is this expenditure has to do anything? Is this expenditure has to do anything for that five heads of income that we discussed yesterday? What is the five heads of income? Salary. Is this expenditure has to do anything with your expenditure of what? Medical premium of my parents or my LIC premium? Anything, any connection with salary? No connection with salary. Any connection with house property? These expenditure, medical premium, LIC, PPF, pension. Any connection with salary? No. Any connection with house property? No. Any connection with business and profession? No. Any connection with capital gains? No. Any connection with other sources? No. And that is the reason why you get this deduction. So this is deduction, yes. You get this deduction not in a heads of income. This is not deduction in a heads of income. So when we do the heads of income, there are deductions which we are going to learn. In the heads of income, there are deductions which we are going to learn, but those deductions are having a relationship with the heads itself. Like for example, I have taken a loan to buy or construct my house property. So what is the expenditure that will be incurred? interest on the loan. Now tell me, is that loan was taken for purchase of house property or construction of house property? Yes. So the expenditure which is in the form of interest is having a relationship, with what? With a house property. So don't you think that the interest expenditure on the loan amount should be given a deduction when you compute what? Income under which head? Under the head house property. So when you compute the income under the head house property, this interest expenditure will be allowed as deduction to you. Why? It has a relationship with that head. One more example I give you. Municipal tax you pay. In a house property, you have to pay municipal tax. The municipality is there. So for every house, water and everything are coming from the municipal authority. So we have to pay municipal tax for that house property. You see your bill every month. You will be getting your bill for your house. So you will find municipal tax. Now you tell me, is this tax, municipal tax, is it pertaining to the house property? Yes. And therefore this municipal tax, where it should be allowed as a deduction? It should be allowed as a deduction in computing what? The income under the head house property. In computing the income under the head house property. Then what about this? Chapter 6a, deduction, LIC premium, mediclaim premium, provident fund, pension. Do these expenditure have any relationship or any nexus with any heads of income? Salary, house property, business and profession, capital gains, other sources? No. And that is the reason why these deductions, which is ATC to ATU, are given not to a particular heads of income. These deductions are given not to a particular heads of income, but it is given from GTI. It is given from GTI. Is that clear to all of you? So we are done with this particular part, students. Congratulations. Total income is through. So your journey, you know which journey you have to travel. This is your journey. Okay, this is part A. Are you going to be happy only to compute total income? Okay, I have computed total income. Mission accomplished. Total income is only one thing. Remember by second class or third class, I told you two things. Any tax, we are going to learn, students, tax. In this case, tax, which tax? I told you about this fact, GST, and then income tax, and in final CA also GST, income. In final CA we will also learn customs duty. In final CA, students, we will also learn customs duty. Right now GST and income tax. Okay, final CA, income tax, GST and customs duty also. Plus we will also learn foreign taxation in final CA. So how to calculate the tax? Tax is a function of two factors. Which are those two factors, students? One is the rate of tax and another is what? Another is the value of tax. Rate and the value. Rate and the value. Okay. Obviously on your UDP bill, restaurant bill, see that, calculate next time whenever you go to restaurant with your family. Please take calci also with you. Your parents will be confused. What has happened? You take the calci part. And when he gives a bill, what do you do? That value of the bill which he has get it, and then the GST rate he will go to charge. The GST would be there. Just put that particular thing and just see whether that is tallying or not. Then you will realize, yes, tax, as we know, rate is to be applied on the value. In income tax also, students, what happens herein? The rate has to be applied on what? On the value. On what? On the value. Okay, on the value. Now here, what is the value in income tax? The value in the income tax is known as the total income. The value in the income tax is known as the total income. Okay. How to calculate total income? We already have seen this. So what is now left, students? What is now left is a rate of tax. Isn't it? Copy down this below this quickly. Okay, students. All of you are through with this one. Now comes the most important amendment. I told you yesterday also. May 24, you people are going to clear your examination. Then immediately after the results are out, once you start your articleship, you will start filing the returns of income. And what the returns that you're going to file would be based on what you're going to learn now. The returns that you are going to file in the month of July 24 is what we are going to learn now. Students, first of all, in this case, so therefore now can we write, all of you have copied this? All of you? Okay. So now students, rate of tax. Now here students, in this particular context, what is the situation? The rate of tax, students, there are two rate of tax which are being there in this case. One is the special rate of tax, special rate of tax, special rate of tax on special income, on special income included in the total income. Included where? In the total income. In the total income. Which is, what is it? We will see that. Okay. I'll give you also some example. Okay, so special rate of tax on the special income including the total income, and here the normal rate of tax, normal rate of tax, rate of tax on the, on what? On the balance total income, students. You can write in the new page, students. If you are writing it, write in the new page. Anuradha, now can you see the screen? What has happened? Anuradha? Where is my phone?